Good evening, everybody. It's Raidhyn, and welcome back to another episode of Valkyria Chronicles. Tonight, I'm sorry to say that this isn't going to be your standard video because my audio and video got completely screwed up during the actual live recording of this. So instead, I've kind of clipped together some of the most important parts so that we don't completely miss out what happens on the rest of Chapter 10, Liberation of Fouzen. As you can see, we do rendezvous with Zakka, and we're seeing what the conditions are like for the Darksons who are held as slaves, essentially, in this Ragnite mine. Rosie has a pretty big shift in her attitude towards the Darksons in this episode, which I think is something that's very significant for her character, and something I really enjoy them bringing into the series. Zakka makes a comparison about how people are like music. If Rosie likes so many different kinds of music, then why can't you like so many different types of people as well? And I think that analogy is a really good way to describe, kind of the blindness that people have towards race and race issues in the world and racism. It's just, people are different, and that can be a really good thing. It's not something that you have to be afraid of. Asara does talk to Zakka, as they're both Darksons, and they have some things to talk about. They kind of had a little moment off to the side before the actual operation took place. So as for the operation itself, the plan is to set a bomb underneath the tracks that the giant artillery rail car is perched atop. So this mission was pretty difficult. It took me almost, the video itself was originally an hour while I played through it. When you start off, you have to take down the northwest bridge to help Zakka out so he can actually get in and place the bomb. And then you have a pretty long winding trail with a lot of anti-tank personnel, in addition to a lift mechanic that you have to use to kind of get your troops and your tank around the map. So as we can see here, we're going to shift over to Alicia getting the information on the industrial lifts. And this was pretty much the key component for Chapter 10 Part 2, was using these lifts to move troops around the map, in addition to moving the Edelweiss later on in the game. This is one of the largest maps that we've played on so far, and it was pretty complicated. I had to go pretty slow in order to actually finish it. We can see Alicia going down the lift, and of course, as per usual with my playthroughs, Alicia gets in harm's way and almost dies. So here I decide to use the retreat order to pull her back to safety, because as you all know, if you've been watching this series, I hate it when Alicia dies. I feel so guilty when she's injured and we have to send the medic in. So we use the retreat order to get her out of there, which I felt very good about, in order to prevent her untimely death, and also because I don't think we would have been able to get another soldier all the way out to where she was. So yeah, after that, what we did was we pretty much moved forward. A bunch of people died because of the machine gun fire that's on top of the giant artillery rail-borne tank thing. Took out a lot of our troops, so we had a lot of need for the medic. We were also able to use our damage boost here with Vice to blow up the tank, which was good, clearing the way until eventually we were able to take down the bomb, or blow up the bomb with a scout. And Gregor was none too pleased. He was pretty upset, seeing as he was inside the tank vehicle when it collapsed to its untimely demise. Untimely if you're the Empire. I thought it was rather timely. So afterwards, once the battle was over, we Operation Complete, by the way. Basically what happened was they get back to the camp and they find out that the Empire had forced everybody into this building and had set it on fire, which is another thing that solidifies the whole connotations with the Nazis and the Empire, because that was something that we heard out of Nazi Germany quite a bit. And just seeing this and the way that the Empire treated the Darksons really changed Rosie's mind about it. And there's this interaction here where Rosie kind of goes off the rails. She gets really, really angry, as Rosie does. And Zakka talks to her about how, revenge doesn't have to be the answer. Enough people died today, and there's another way forward. And I think this was probably one of the most powerful episodes about racism in Valkyria Chronicles, and one that I really enjoyed with the character interactions and seeing some character development in Rosie. And not a complete turnaround yet, but her eyes are kind of starting to be open to the plight of the Darksons and just how awful it is and how terribly this whole race of people are treated simply because of the color of their hair and because of the supposedly bad things that they've done in the past as, you know, an entire race of people, and just what kind of travesties that can lead to. So here at the end, the team kind of gathers together and decides to search through the rubble for survivors, and even Rosie makes the decision to kind of pitch in and do whatever she can because all of this has had such a deep impact on her, which I think is great, and it's something that really makes me appreciate and admire Valkyria Chronicles. So then at the end, we see Squad 7 back in the barracks, and they actually end up with a new squad member. Wait for it. Yeah, this guy. So I believe he's some sort of small tank commander of some kind. Not 100% sure, but he's part of the team now, and I'm kind of interested to see how he's going to play in. But for now, thank you guys very much for watching. I apologize again for this kind of shortened episode. You know, audio technical difficulties and video sync issues are something that just seems to happen sporadically, and I don't really have much of a way of predicting it. But I am going to be trying to be a little bit more cautious with preventing this in the future for when we tackle Chapter 11. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for more Valkyria Chronicles.